It was good, Discord. So this will be a quick video about stop loss placement. Here you can see like a setup, and when you're practicing stop loss placement, you want to just look for something like this. You want to look for liquidity. You want to look for a fair value gap, fair value gap reaction, and then just practice it. Okay, you don't need to backtest the full strategy for that. Okay, so stop loss placement. You see, this is the kind of the displacement. This is the fair value gap. When looking for stop loss placement and risk to reward, what matters is the fair value gap size and the reaction. Okay, so in this case, the fair value gap is pretty small. It's a good size for me, and the reaction is not the best, but it's still decent. And I would have entered on this candle because you see the wick is up here, and it shows me that when this candle was live, it was showing buying pressure because it was going up. So I would have entered like probably here. And when it comes to stop loss now is, my bad, what did I just do? When it comes to stop loss placement is, all these guys on TikTok and YouTube or your favorite guru tells you to place your stop loss always on new liquidity, like on the new latest low, and place your TP at swing high on the next draw on liquidity or something. But that's just bullshit because that doesn't make no sense. Why does it make sense? Why, bro? Yeah, you know what I mean. It doesn't make sense because trading, like real trading, is acting based on current situation and not on on situation based acting, not on just copying a pattern and pasting it all the time on charts, hoping it goes good. That's just not trading. But that's all these guys teaching you. They're teaching you a silver bullet fancy named strategy. You can trade only 1 hour a day. Bro, like that doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, you can trade it 1 hour a day. You can only take a fair value gap credit in that time or something, I heard. And then you target something specific and you place your stop loss like this. And like these rules, bro, like you have to act based on situation, not on just pattern. Okay, because look what happens when you place your stop loss on liquidity and then you just target your take profits. Because, bro, like, sure, in this case, when you target next draw on liquidity, it would have worked, but it's just, you know that you know how often this works. Like, it's so rare, and it's just too risky. Okay, so we want to go for like areas like this. For example, let's just say this fair value gap, or like something like this. Okay, you target this and you get a 1 to 1.6, 1 to 1.6, which is not bad in my opinion. There's nothing wrong with taking something like 1 to 1 and a bit above, but we target, like, you see, we could have easily targeted on this over 1 to 2, at least 1 to 2, at least 1 to 2, by just moving the stop loss a bit like this. Because you know, when the fair value gap has got respected, there's no reason for price to come in that again. And yeah, it's just, you could have even put it like this, but that's just too tight, and spreads and slippage can fuck it up. But I would go for something like this, in my opinion. Like, in my opinion, this is pretty good. It's tight, and I know it's not even 2 pips to stop loss right now, but it's just high level scalping. I'm not teaching you some bullshit. I'm teaching you something that's working out for me. I know you got to be fast because you want to catch the reaction. You want to, like, you're not entering just boom and boom. And like, as I'm saying, it would have worked on this, but you know how often it would work in the live markets. Like, you know, this doesn't even work like this. Like, when you target, when you just enter on fair value gap, bro, like, fair value gap won't even get respected and you're fucked because you have entered the trade already. Okay, so learn real trading. So how to really know where to put your stop loss. As I said, if the fair value gap size is good, okay, let's say size is like this, then you can put it like this still. If the fair value gap size is very big, you don't like the fair value gap makes the trade a bit lower probability, and you cannot put it like this because your stop loss is behind a very big fair value gap, and as I said, very big fair value gap are like fucking up the probability of the trade. So what you're gonna do for that case, I would say not taking the trade, but when you take the trade, because you can risk it, wait for a good reaction, okay? Wait for a solid reaction even when you enter late, and then you can put your stop loss. You can, bro, what? Then you can put your stop loss below the low, which has a reacted off the fair value gap, and then your entry is probably something like this. Your stop loss like this, and then you're still good to go, okay? So try, like, learn it. Learn to practice it, to act based on situations, okay? For example, like this, okay? Let's just do it on this. This is a fair value gap. Let's say you want to short on that. I know there is no sweep or something. It's just, as I said, for practicing, you go for random liquidity, random fair value gap with a reaction. This is a very clean reaction. So, like, let's say you entered like this. Here you can just put your stop loss above the fair value gap, and you'd be good to go, targeting this something, and then you have an easy 1 to 2. You see, take profit hit in 3 minutes. And I know it's just it's like it looks like gambling or something, but it's just how I do it, man. Like, I really have people, even in the Discord, I think, who have witnessed this and experienced this hitting TP in 2 or 3 minutes. Like, it's just when you do the things which I tell you to do, then you can really hit this. Because sometime when you get good price action, you will hit TP in like a few minutes, which is crazy. So yeah, watch what would have happened when you put your stop loss on liquidity for some reason. I don't know why. Then even targeting like this, you get not even a 1 to 1 at 1 to 2. So it's just playing with your server, okay? So what do you want to make sure? That the fair value gap size is good, that it has reacted immediately off of that, something like this or something like this, because you see the fair value gap has been created over here, right? Then there's another candle. So this is 1 minute. 1 minute of not entering the fair value gap. This is the fair value gap. But then after another minute, like the second candle after creating fair value gap, enters and reacts. You see, the later it reacts off of fair value gap, the lower probability the trade becomes in the fair value gap. And the later the fair value gap creates after the sweep, the lower probability your trade becomes. Okay, so you want to look for, in general, A+ setups. Okay, like, it's just when you're trading it live or testing it forward, you want to look for something like this, okay? Let's say this is 50-minute liquidity. Price comes down, boom, boom, okay? Boom. This was 50-minute liquidity. We are now on the 1 minute time frame. And this move has to be very quick because there has to be, on the 1 minute, a fair value gap, something over here. Price coming like this and going this up. I'm gonna change. Okay, bro, please, come on. Okay, so I don't want you to see a sweep chopping here around for 5 hours and then take a random fair value gap. Please don't. What you're supposed to do, okay? Please understand this. Don't send something like this. Like don't send some bad ass setups in my chat and ask me or ask someone else if it's good, because I'm literally telling you what to do. But you're doing it wrong. Like there's nothing wrong with doing it wrong, but you have to really learn and adapt these things I'm telling you. Okay? You want to see a good sweep. What is a good sweep? Sweep like breaking liquidity and changing direction immediately, not 5 hours later, immediately. Okay? Okay. What is a good fair value gap? When it comes with the change of direction immediately, like this. What is a good reaction? When it reacts immediately and not 5 hours later. I'm so like I'm kind of tired of telling you guys because I still see, bro. There's someone. Make sure not to take it personal when I'm telling you this, but there's still someone in the Discord. I think that was the new member who sent a setup with the 50-minute time frame. Bro, we're not even entering on the 50-minute time frame. Okay, make sure to read the things I send you, like the PDF file. It gives you like literally, bro. Get a paper, okay? Get a page of paper, okay? And write the things down you have to see for entering. And I'm giving you the order. I'm giving you the order you have to follow when you're a beginner or advanced or whatever. First, okay, with the strategy, okay? First, you try to learn to spot it on the chart. Okay, you test it, and if you're not sure with something, then just screenshot it and send it in. But don't make like obvious mistakes, like, you know, like don't try to enter on the 50-minute time frame, because that's an obvious mistake. We're not even entering on the 50-minute time frame. So, but still, if you have any questions, something like would you guys enter this trade because the fair value gap size looks kind of big, but the reaction was good and stuff like this. Okay, so the plan is testing the strategy on chart, back testing it, then testing it forward with demo. Maybe when you're good spotting it, when you're doing good on demo, then use maybe a funded account after 1 or 2 months, and then you're good. Okay, that's all. Like, but please don't just go for random setups and act like the strategy is not working, because as I said one time, if the strategy stops working in general, which can't happen, then it would be stop like it would stop working for me as well. But you see, it's still working for me. Like, I'm making profits every week. Okay, the easiest thing you could do to improve with the strategy, okay? Just go and look for my wins. I'm sending you my wins for you to learn. That's a pretty good value in my opinion, which is underrated, because you just go to look for my wins or my losses as well. Even more important, you can look for, like, bro, I'm literally recapping you my trades. I'm literally showing you trades I would take and I would not take. Why wouldn't you just use your brain and adapt these things? Yeah? Okay. So that's kind of it. Like, to as a conclusion, don't put your stop loss on liquidity if it makes your stop loss that big that it fucks up your risk to reward. Put your stop loss behind fair value gap If the fair value gap has got respected, good. And the size, if the size is good. If the size is a bit bigger, you could put the stop loss behind the reaction of the fair value gap. And if it's too big, then you don't usually take it. Like, and yeah, you guys, some of you guys are thinking like, yeah, but how do I know if it's too big or too small or something? That's not too small, that's just too big. How do you know that it's too big? Well, just by looking at it, like kind of, it's just, as I said, we're not like, I'm showing you the reality of trading. I'm not showing you some patterns. The patterns, in my opinion, would make you unprofitable long term. This, when you learn, bro, imagine learning a skill and knowing how to act based on a situation. Imagine knowing how to max out, like, imagine learning how to get the full potential out of a current situation of the setup because you know how to adapt things. Imagine getting a 1 to fucking 3 risk reward when someone else, like a random trading kid, is getting 1 to 1 or something, because you know how to place your stop loss and you know how to trade in general. So yeah, that's kind of it. Please just go and trade ideas and look at the trades I send also, and look at the stop loss placements on there. It's not that hard. It's just you're okay. Another thing I'm going to tell you. I read about it in a book. It says in whatever work you're putting in, okay, whatever, like, it doesn't matter in what industry, but let's say trading, okay. If you're on chart for 4 hours, but you're actually backtesting only for an hour, you'll think that you're like kind of working for 4 hours, but you just like, you get what I'm saying? Like, you only worked actually for an hour. So don't let yourself fool with the actual time you put in the work, because it's just about using your time efficiently. You gotta really think about it, how much your time you actually put in. How much time do you actually put in? Like, when you say, even, bro, let's take homework as an example. Let's say you have to do homework, okay? And you sit down and do your homework, and when you're finished, you actually worked on it for 40 minutes, but you sat on your desk for 3 hours. Bro, nobody else's fault but yours that you took like 3 hours when it actually took you to do your homework for like 40 minutes. So you wasted over 2 hours on doing nothing or being on TikTok or something, because you're not putting really in the work. So you could even try to use less time but work more efficient, because you gotta actually put in the work. Because some people are sad at the end of the day that they put 6 hours into backtesting, but they've not really improved. But it wasn't even 6 hours, it was just 2 hours actually backtesting and 4 hours just wasting. Okay, so don't let yourself fool. Okay, don't fool yourself. That's what I mean. Yeah, that's just kind of it. You can set, like, you guys have to teach, like, you guys have to help each other as well. Just use the community to learn as well. send, okay, you're learning to play stop loss, or you're just backtesting. Screenshot it and send it into trade ideas and ask the community if it's looking good. And sometimes, you know, I even reply myself because I'm not Cristiano Ronaldo, but if I have time, I reply. And that's the case in most of the times. So yeah, that was kind of it with the video. If you have any questions about this video, then just ask it in the chat room. In general, do not mention me, do not tag me and ask me questions. Ask it in the video, in the chat, and if I see it, then I'll answer it. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great Sunday. And yeah, I know this turned to a yap session kind of, but all the things I'm telling you is not just random shit. It's still going to help you in some way if you use it.